Hey, what's up, guys? Okay, so I don't know. This is my first time actually going live on YouTube legitimately, talking a little bit more about the products that we are faced with every single day. Whether or not you have a business, whether or not you have a brand, or you're just starting off, or you've been in business for decades, it doesn't matter. This content that I'm about to talk to you about right now is actually applicable to anybody in the industry. So the most important thing that I want to convey out there, if you guys are watching this replay, thank you. If you guys are watching this live, thank you. I think I can see the comments, so bear with me as I try to understand how this all works with YouTube Live. But regardless of that, go ahead and comment if you guys are interested in, seeing everything and engaging with me. So I'm gonna write a comments real quick. Just let me just test that out and make sure that works. Hello everyone. All right, this maybe no one sees it, maybe one person sees it, but either way, I'm gonna test it out. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna talk real quick about why video is king and why content is king right now in the age of information. So many people are doing things that are compelling. There's stories, there's experiences, there's evidence out there every single day that people want to hear stories. People want to connect with people just like you that are doing things remarkably. So the point I want to make today, and I have a little whiteboard behind me, is that you have a story to tell. You have something that is specific and unique to your brand. And at BinJet Media, all we want to do is show you the value of video and show you the ideas and sell you on the idea that video and photography and content on social media and your websites and all different elements of what makes you who you are is so important. And there's so many marketing people out there doing amazing things, and I'm sure you're one of them. And if you're not, then at least you're gonna take some value from this. So let me get straight to the point. Why is video so important in today's current society? The reason why it's so important is because everyone that has a smartphone or a tablet, they come across a piece of video content that speaks to them at least once in that day. So if you can imagine how many people there are in the United States, okay? And let's just take 10% of people in the United States. All right, 10% of people in the United States have smartphones. Let's just say that. I'm sure it's way more than that, but if I'm using a really low denominator because I want to talk about why this is such an important thing. So just imagine this, okay? I have an old iPhone here. It's not that old actually. This had water damage. It's the iPhone 6. All right, so this device right here has the capability, and actually I'll just use my normal iPhone. This is my iPhone 7. This device right here has the capability of connecting with hundreds of thousands of people if you wanted to. Instead of this being a piece of metal, this is your tube to communicate to the world. And the reason why that's so important in understanding your purpose in your business and utilizing things like this is because you have a story to tell. Just like I'm live streaming to you right now, this is an avenue for me to communicate to you. This is an avenue for me to propel my message into cyberspace, into the internet. And so if you can imagine what difference it makes when you have video content. I'm gonna use a whiteboard to talk a little bit about this because this is cool. So if you imagine this, okay, you have, let's start right here so make sure you can see it. Okay, you guys have a website. Maybe you guys have a website, right? You guys might have a website, okay? And then you guys also might have a social media channel. And let's just say you have maybe like a Facebook or Instagram, okay? Or YouTube, just like you're watching here. And the point I'm making here is that these are elements where people come in and stumble upon who you are. And with the content that's currently on your website, if you don't currently have video assets that's up to date to what you offer and brand it the way that you guys want, right? Video content on these engines, on these platforms, and I'm gonna use engines, platforms, channels, they're all interchangeable to me, okay? But the point I'm making here is that when you have tools like your website and your social media channels, use them in order to communicate who you are, why you do what you do. And here's the thing, people get so afraid of thinking like, oh, I'm too annoying, right? If you think you're too annoying and you have these ideas that you want to get out into the marketplace, and you want to, post 2 times an hour, it doesn't mean that you're annoying. It just means that you have something to say, right? People are afraid of that because they don't want to come across as negative. But here's the thing, any level of attention that you get with your content is good attention, because at the end of the day, no matter how awesome and how graceful and how compassionate you are as a brand, people are gonna hate on you. People are gonna hate on the fact that you have a business, that you have a website, that you are somebody special in a certain market, okay? So regardless of that, don't be afraid of being annoying, because at the end of the day, you have a message to share. Now, if you have a team, utilize that team and embrace the idea that content is what people are looking for. When you have content that's available to people in the marketplace, you're able to create value on a level that they never even thought was there. So for example, let me tell you this, okay? So say there's a 30-second video, and we're gonna talk about this, and then there's gonna be a 5-minute video, and then there's a 10-second video, or a 10-minute video, I'm sorry, and then there might be a 30-minute video, okay? Now, all of these things do something similar. They all tell a story. They convey a message. They tell people and instruct people to understand what this message is and what it can bring to you. Okay, so all of these things do one thing. They communicate. They communicate to the person watching it on screen. And what you want to do with these different levels, these different areas, the 30-minute, the 5-minute, the 10-minute, the 30-minute, these are all respective to the customer journey, okay? So for example, if I came across an ad that was 30 seconds long, and that 30-second ad convinced me that this product, this service, this person, this artistic expression, this album, this facility, this venue, whatever it is that you do, this 30-second ad made me curious. It got my attention. It made me feel like, oh, wow, this is something I should think about in the future. I'm thinking about this already, but this 30-second video just reaffirmed with me the value of time and energy that I want to be putting towards that video, that brand, or that message, okay? So this 30-second video is so important when you are at I'm gonna make this line right here. I'm actually gonna draw it in red because it's important for you guys also to see the difference. So this is the customer journey, okay? Let's call this the customer journey, okay? So the customer journey is this here, and hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, so we have the customer journey, and this is you right here. When you come across this 30-second video, this is the beginning of the customer journey. You are made aware of what this product is and why it serves you. So when you are able to communicate, I'm talking to you, business owners, brand artists, when you're able to communicate here, you're then able to instruct them to understand these different elements here, okay? So from here, you have the 30-second video. This is a piece of asset, a digital marketing piece that you're able to repurpose. It's an evergreen piece that can be delivered and repurposed over and over again, as long as it's conveying the same message that you want it to convey. That's that editorial campaign, or that editorial calendar that we're talking about here. And that's a little bit more complex. If you don't understand the editorial calendar, then I can talk to you about that a little bit later. Maybe in another webinar, but let's leave it mostly about video right now. Okay, so with the 30-second video, you're able to bring awareness. You're able to strike attention, because that 30-second ad will bring somebody to maybe want to visit the site or learn more, or maybe make a phone call. But that 30-second video is made to attract, it's made to say, hey, I'm here, right? So that's a 30-second ad. And now we're gonna move to the 5-minute video. The 5-minute video during the customer journey, and then I'm gonna say the customer journey. This is the beginning, start. This is start, and then this is when you buy, right? Or this is when you've converted, right? So do a big money sign there, and this is where you start, okay? So you convince them that they are aware of your brand, and then with this 5-minute video, if that's a 3 to 5 minute video, that explains what your product is. So your customer is already aware of who you are with this video, and now they're thinking about you. So now they're marinating your message here, right? So they're thinking in their mind, they're wondering, well, okay, well, I know what they do. Okay, if they're worth $1,000, if this product or this service is $1,000, I know what they do. But now I want to know more. So that's when this comes into play, right? The 5-minute video where you explain it a little more. Maybe you do a webinar like I am, and I'm talking for 2 hours, right? But you have this video, these 2 videos that explain, build awareness, and you have the 5-minute video that explains and it helps that person consuming your message, and it marinates in their mind, and they're like, oh, maybe this is a good thing, maybe I need this, okay? And then when you get to the 10-minute video to 30-minute video portion, that's at the end of the funnel here. That's at the end of the customer journey. This is when they're convinced and they're ready to do some sort of action. I put a CTA there, right? That's when they're convinced and ready on this level here with these 10-minute and 30-minute videos. When you have these different structures of videos and these different lengths of videos, this will help you build your credibility online. And I'll tell you what, the reason why video works right now is because all of our smartphone devices, our phones, our iPads, our computers, our TVs, our PlayStations, our Xboxes, our Nintendo Wiis, our everything that has a screen is being designed for video consumption. So when you invest time, energy, and money into video, and you do it strategically in this fashion, and you're thinking to yourself, well, I want to have people get to know who I am. I want people to understand the value of what I do, and say it in 15 seconds. You actually only have 3 seconds to get their attention, and then once you graduate from that 3 seconds, you then have only about 7 seconds to convince them of your story and your product, and then from that 7 seconds, you have to convince them in your call to action, and maybe some sort of other story that convinces them even more, right? So you have to constantly, with your 30-second video here, your 30-second ad, your commercial here, that's going to get their attention, and it's going to graduate them to want to learn more. This has to graduate them to this, and then this graduates them to these elements here. And you might have a series of videos, you might have testimonials, you might have different elements, but video is one of the top ways, guys, right now. In 2018, right now it's June 21st, 2018, and it's currently 4:15 p.m. and I've been talking for 15 minutes, and you guys have been hanging out with me, right? But video is one of the top ways right now. People are learning about new brands, new ideas, and new products. Not only that, but if you've existed for a while and you haven't used video, or maybe you have had video in the past, this is your moment right now, because every social media channel is designing their platform for video. So for example, Instagram, for instance, they just released something called IGTV, okay? And it's designed for people that want to upload content vertically on their phone, right? Let me just show you an example. Okay, so IGTV is right here. IGTV is that little icon right there, that orange icon. And if I click on it, Here it is, okay? And if I click on this, I have a video of myself talking, okay? So you can imagine. So there you go. Okay, so IGTV is another platform right now that just got released from Instagram, who's owned by Facebook, okay? And then Facebook stories, Facebook and Snapchat, it's overwhelming, right? It's just way too much crap, right? But hey, you don't have to worry, because you should only focus on the things that you feel comfortable doing. You don't need to have every platform existing tomorrow. Do the things that matter to you most right now. So for example, let me explain this to you in a way that's more, makes more sense than what I just said. Let me just erase this. So you guys understand this, right? I'm gonna erase this real quick. I'm gonna use my little microphone thing. But here, check it out. I'm gonna erase this guy. Okay, so look. So I just erased it with my microphone thing. So here's the thing, okay? So here's all the platforms out there that matter the most right now. Okay, so we have YouTube. I'm gonna put right here. YouTube. Oh, I can't write. It's way too dark or way too messed up. YouTube. We have Instagram. We have Facebook. LinkedIn. Twitter. And your site. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Right here. 5 different platforms, outlets of communication. Okay, you have YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and your website. So, if you're overwhelmed by this, focus on one engine at a time, one platform or channel at a time, right? You might have to just focus on your website only for now, for like a week, to make sure you have video content on there. So whether you're recording it with your smartphone, okay, your iPhone or your Android phone, it doesn't matter. All smartphones now in this year, any phone released this year that's a smartphone that's over $500 has an HD camera on it. So you can imagine you're walking around with a very expensive camera. And so it's a communication channel and it's a content recording device. So imagine that. You have your website, you have your Twitter, and all these different elements that make it important. 1 second here. All right, I'm back. Sorry, guys. Okay. So you have all these different elements. So I'm not telling you guys, I'm not saying that do all of this now and set it all up like in 5 minutes, because it's not gonna be 5 minutes. You have to design all these different platforms with your logos, with your hashtags, and with all these different elements that make you special and unique, right? So for example, let's just say you own a flower shop or a restaurant or a service-oriented business. Your Twitter account needs to reflect the logos and your mission statement and how people can connect with you, okay? Your LinkedIn has to do the same thing. Your Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube has to be the same and designed the same way, because at the end of the day, people want to be able to click on your site and get straight to the point and get to contact you, okay? So BinJet Media is not a marketing company. We focus primarily on content development, content production. So videos, photography, and audio production. So these different elements of what makes an experience of content is what we focus on. Recording clear, concise messages with cameras like this. Let me show you guys. This is one of the cameras that we have. So this camera can film in HD, and we can film whole virtual tours. We can film run and gun type shoots. We use this for our TV show. We use this for our video marketing campaigns. We use this for our clients that are looking for high profile videos, high clear videos in HD, professionally done. You cannot get the same quality with this camera, okay? Because you're able to have these different elements of audio and all these different things that make it so special. So cameras like this are important because you're able to tell a story in a professional way. And here's the one thing, okay? Let me ask you guys this. When you guys see somebody, you guys ultimately judge them based on the first 2 or 3 seconds of how they are dressed, their shoes, their face, their smell, everything, their eye contact. That's the same thing people experience when they look at your website, when they look at your videos, and when they look at your pictures. Okay, so if you want to charge $100 for a steak and you have really shitty photos and videos on your website, what do you think that person that is traveling 50 miles or 100 or 1,000 miles to come visit your town to possibly eat at your restaurant will say when they come across your site that doesn't have video and photography that's optimized and designed to be consumable and digestible? Like, wow, right? If you don't have that wow factor, your other competitors are gonna take that transaction from them. So that's the point I'm trying to make here, is that you have a story to tell. You have a brand that is worth sharing. And now is the time to communicate your why. Communicate the elements with your phone. If you have nothing, use your phone to do that. Go live and talk about this, just like I'm doing right here with my laptop. And if you have the capabilities, hire a photographer or a videographer to do your shots. Because at the end of the day, those shots, the movements that happen, and the cinematography, the writing, the direction, the coaching, all of that matters because you want to have that good impression, and it helps sell. So imagine like this, okay? You have a video out in cyberspace that's constantly saying the same thing, and it's pitching the same story, and it's convincing that person that you are the right solution, right? So imagine you're open from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the late, whatever hours you operate, this video is still out there and it's saying the same thing to those people. And that's important because you have to see that all of these elements come together when you see that people are constantly looking for information. So through video, through virtual reality 360 tours, through photography, any element of content, this has to be digestible. So I'm gonna go back to this real quick. So you have your YouTube, your Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, websites. Not only that, let me include some other elements in here. You have also something called a TV, a smartphone, you have tablets, iPads, all that stuff, right? Okay, so why did I put these on here, right? Why do I have TV, smartphone, and tablets on here? It's how people are consuming content. It's how people are learning about ideas, products, and services, and watching their favorite shows. Okay, cable TV and radio, it's dying slowly. Because imagine it like this, okay? Back in the day, people would, Comcast for instance, would approach a business and say, for $20,000, we'll build you a commercial and we'll put you on air for 200 spots for a total of 6 months. And it's gonna be at this time, this time, this time, and this time throughout the week, right? $20,000, $30,000 package, however amount it is. But here's the point. The point I'm making here is this. People are not subscribing to television anymore. People aren't subscribing. They want on-demand content. Things like Netflix, things like YouTube, things like your website, things like your Facebook, things like your Twitter and LinkedIn, all these different things. They want it on demand because they want information right now. They want to make a decision based on what is available to them, the content that's available to them. So if you can imagine, your ad, if the old way on radio and TV is you had an ad, right? That ad, that television video that they created or you created or something, that gets only put into certain spots in a timeline of real time, right? What are the odds of the people that subscribe to that cable network sitting down on their couch, their living room, or their home somewhere, watching TV to see that ad? What are the odds of that happening? And even if they did see that ad, and they made a decision, oh, that was a cool ad, I wanna, and you're paying, you know, for $20,000-$30,000 worth of time that maybe could potentially reach, you know, 1,000 people. The likeliness of that happening is very slim. Why? Because less and less people are subscribing to television cable boxes, and more people are going towards the internet. And the point I'm making here is that on-demand content can be created from the source of energy you have now, which is if you just opened up or you've been in business for a long time and you have assets that you've created and you want to repurpose that and create another mission or another message, you can do that right now, because content is always going to be consumable in a way that people are constantly craving, right? People are constantly looking for you, people just like you, because people are looking to connect. And strip away all the logistics, all the technicalities, and all this stuff, right? If you strip that all away, here's the thing. People are looking to connect with human beings and their story. People are looking to connect with the ideas that you have that will bring value to their spirit, to their heart, to their environment. And that's all they're looking for. And if you have content out there that you're ready to publish and share, and you're ready to be vulnerable, and or you're ready to jump on the idea that, hey, maybe I need to invest my energy, flow, and time and money into those things that tell people who I am. You know, gone are the days where you throw up, you put your ad on a newspaper and or a magazine or something like that, and people are gonna like stumble upon it. Oh yeah, this is awesome, you know, and they call you. Those days are gone, because everybody is leaning towards word of mouth, what other people say about you. They're leaning towards content that they can find on demand, that they're stumbling upon you know, consuming content on with various different platforms. So all of these things are aiming towards the fact that you need to focus on building content to survive as a business. You need to be building content on the why. Why do you do what you do? Who are you? Can you explain that in 5 seconds? Can you, the 30-second elevator speech, let's cut that in half. 15 seconds, let's cut that in half again. Okay? You only have 7 seconds, more or less, to convince somebody through a video, through an iPad or iPhone, that you are awesome. And it's not about competing. It's about just being yourself. It's not about like, oh, I need to do all these things at once. I need to be the best. That is extremely hard to do. Don't do that. What I'm telling you is do the things that you feel comfortable with doing with content, whether that's using an old phone, okay, or using professional equipment like this, or using a 360 camera, something that's a little newer, right? A Ricoh Theta S. This is what I use for 360, and I have an 8mm lens for 360 Pro 360. But my point is this: do the things that serve your why, your spirit, your energy, because without that, it comes across as forced, right? So me educating and talking about these things, it comes natural to me because I'm so passionate about telling a story, being an artist, being someone that can contribute through sound, through imagery, through communication with other people and their ideas that help me grow as a human being. These are all elements that make me motivated and that make my energy very, full-hearted. Okay, so that's the point I want to make here, guys. And we have another webinar coming up soon. This is my first ever YouTube webinar-ish thing that I've ever done. So I'm so excited because maybe one person saw this, and I'm happy. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much. And if you haven't watched any other of my videos, go ahead and do that. But the point I'm trying to make here, ultimately, I'm going to summarize all of this, is that you are somebody that's special. You have a unique story to tell, and you have a message that people need to hear. Whether or not you know it, people are looking for you. And if you don't want to be found, that's fine. Hide. Get under the basement and just say, nope, I don't want to be of service. I don't want to be of value to the community. I don't want to contribute to society. That's fine if you don't want to do that. But if you want to do that and you want to connect and reach out to people and convince other people that you are someone that can be of value to them with your specific service, whatever that is, you have to have content. You have to have content. And video is the #1 way there that we are all consuming content. And when I say we, I say the majority of Americans in the United States, the majority of modernized countries use the internet. Okay? And that's we. That's a collection of humanity. I'm not talking about everybody, because this cannot be applicable to everybody. I'm talking about the majority of people. They're consuming content on a consistent basis, and you need to be flowing your energy into that position so that you can be prepared to receive. Okay? You're basically blasting out your ideas and everything into the world so that people can find value in you. Because you, if you don't believe in it, if you don't believe in your purpose and your ideas and the fact that you are someone special, and don't compare yourself all the time to the world left and right. Oh my God, I'm not as good as this. I don't have this much money. I have this responsibility. Stop. Those are limiting beliefs. And the limiting beliefs only happen because you're afraid of the past. You're anxious about the future, and you're not present here, now, right? So the exercise for you is write down why you want to do your business. Write it down. Why you want to have a brand. Why do you want to be an artist? Why do you do what you do? You want to start something. Write it down. Why? If you haven't done that yet. And then from there, consider the idea of building a video. Because that is the ultimate way. Think about it like this. 1.8 million messages gets broadcasted with 1 second of video. 80% of people consume video content on a regular basis now. 80% of the modern world. And out of those 80%, they're watching at least 3 hours of video per day on the internet. Not on TV, not on no cable or anything like that, on the internet, okay? And you have to be flowing into that ocean, because what's gonna happen is people are gonna stumble upon you, and the more content you have, the more fishing lines you have out there, you're able to harness those remarkable relationships that's ultimately gonna uplift your spirit, uplift your purpose, and uplift everything that you represent right now. And that's going to evolve. So, do yourself a favor, invest in content, invest in your why, have purpose, and continue that momentum. I'm Sehat Janet with BinJet Media. You guys can contact me at www.binjetmedia.com, or you can call me right here, my phone number, and just reach out. If you guys have any questions, I'm here for you guys.